Hello Planet Zoo adventurers and welcome back to our Planet Zoo series here on UK Theme Parks. Now then, we have just recently built our crocodile enclosures. We've got a nice little underwater viewing tank here. Look at that, look, I can actually see them. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love us to have something like that. I'm sure there is somewhere around in the UK that has that. But I've yet to come across a good underwater viewing tank. Now then, we've got a few things we want to touch on today. We've got a little bit more scenery we need to do, a little bit more theming we need to do. Simple things like bins, which we're doing now. We need to get ready and in. And then, of course, we need to build a place for our Nile Monitors. Now then, in the last episode, we did actually, if you may have seen, we purchased / adopted the Nile Monitors, and they are currently in our trade centre. Now before they get old and die in there, we do want to put them in. However, these are the boards we're going to try out. So there are some standard, I say standard, there are some massive educational boards which you can then select a variety of information for the public, whether it be deforestation, whether it be the trading there of the ivory, the eco, anything you like you can put in. Not necessarily relating to any particular animal, but you can pop them in. And we're also putting in the speakers as well. The only problem we have with these educational speakers is they're not English, and I can't work out why they're not English. But either way, the guests are enjoying them, their education levels are going up. So we're going to put them in at a medium volume and go from there. We've got a bit more rain, look, but under here, no rain under here. These people in shorts and t-shirt, they're loving life. People out here, not so much. Now, funny enough, all the people have brollies. I don't know where they buy them from. I really wish they would have made them get them from the game. But we are going to stick a few more educational things in, because when we clicked on a few guests, we have noticed that the education level of the guests is not particularly good in terms of what we're teaching them. So we do definitely want to put them in, and that's the key goal for this episode. Just updating a few signs, a few bits and pieces, get those in, and then get the Nile Monitors in before we start on a new piece for the next episode. Now these things, you know, these things are important. When you click on the guests, it tells you the level of education they're getting there. And when we look at our zoo kind of outline, it does tell us that we've got a few problems, and it's sort of only 60% of people are, you know, engaged with the zoo and happy about the visit. No, it's not great. So whilst we're getting animals in, and it's great you seeing the build of the animals, you know, there is so much more to it. There really is, and I can't figure out for the life of me how to make these English. I really can't. They're just pumping out. I don't know whether or not I selected a European biome when we started. Maybe I clicked in another country rather than the UK, and it automatically does it. Not sure. Now then, it is very, very busy on those shops under there. It's very, very busy on these shops, apart from the fact that one doesn't have a vendor. So we need to get a vendor in there. So we're going to copy that across. We're going to copy the shell across and bring it over here, because over here will be our next expansion going forward. The expansion over here, I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but I think it's going to be something big. I think we're going to maybe tackle one of the rides that the park has. It has various transport rides, various rides in which guests can get on and look from animals from above. So I think that'll be the tackle for sort of over this side with some of the big African areas, to be honest. I say elephants. We've got elephants, some of the other big African animals. So that is the plan. That is the plan for over this side. We want to get this bit open. We want to get another place for people to sit and eat. We want to get a few more little insects in as well. The little insects. Oh, we can have frosted glass. Oh, I like that. I like that. The detail actually is incredible. Detail's incredible on these. Right, get a few benches in, and hopefully it will just take a little bit of pressure off of these shops just around the corner here. If people can come over to these ones and use these ones instead. So that's the plan. We'll get a few shops in here. There we go. Get one of those. Pop that one in there. It's not very central. Can't move it over now. Ah, come on now. Oh, the vendor's gone. Where'd the vendor go? Where's the vendor gone? Where's the vendor gone? I think it's going to be easier if we just move the building over. So there we go, we'll move the building over, pop that over there, and we've got some more shops. That'll please people. Detach those from there. There we go, we've been lazy, we've copied them, forgot to detach them. So we'll quickly move those over now. There we go, so hopefully we get a vendor in there shortly. That will alleviate that problem. Now, back over here, the game has crashed several times. Sadly, the game, for whatever reason, since we've done this bit, has had major crash problems. Can we bring it? No, we can't have two gates. That's a bit of a shame we can't have two gates. What we're going to do, we're going to move the gate over this side and we're going to place a viewing window here. Because as you can see on the left-hand side now, there are people literally staring over, or now on the right-hand side, staring over into the cage, which I don't think is the safest thing. So we're probably going to put some trees down there and sort of block it off a bit. It's not kind of what I really wanted people to do, is to stand on the bridge and look at them. I really hope they go to the underwater tunnel, to be honest. I'm not really sure why they don't like the underwater tunnel. So we'll make a bit of space there and people can come around and watch these. Hopefully when we get the Nile Monitors in shortly, that will help. So we're going to place some, just a low, we'll have to be careful with the bushes because it's overlapping on the enclosure. See, this is the problem. See, where it overlaps on the enclosure, we've got to be very careful with the bushes we put in. We might have to have a little bit of a tinker here. The game has already crashed once with us doing this, so we'll quickly check a few bits and pieces before we finish that off. But hopefully now people will walk around here and go in that bit. Now, what we've had to do here is this was completely my fault. So I built the elephant enclosure and may have / completely forgot to put a water filter down for the water area. So the water area has become contaminated, and yeah, we've just had to put a new section in there. And now from that, we're going to build a path down the side and have a few more animal buildings here already. So you can see some of the benches and things we'd already put in, sadly, crashed with the game. So we've had to go back and add the benches and some bins in as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame. It has hung a few times. So as you'll see, we're going to be saving it quite regularly because we did lose a little bit of work there. Now, we have a problem with the snake. Not sure what the problem with the snake is. Look at the snake. So we kind of put in extra animal houses here. They don't seem to be using them, to be honest. They seem to be going for elsewhere. The problem with the snake is actually there's nothing in that enclosure. So let's get a common depth adder in that enclosure. Get the temperature right. Yep, everything's on. Humidity's good. Right, now then, back over to where we were. Make sure these are all functioning, people are in them, and we want to select there's actually something for them, which is great. Right, back over this side, we do want to, as you can see, also, I'm putting the glass back in here once again and moving the gate. It's awful, it's awful, it's awful, it's awful when it crashes. It really is a little bit frustrating, some of the crashes that have happened the last 30 minutes whilst I've been playing, but it's all right, there we are. We've got it back to where we were. We've got the bushes back, and we do now need to build our enclosure for our Nile Monitors, which have been sitting in our trade centre. So we're going to have this hug sort of the area here, although we will have a little bit of a pool for them. I think people on this one, there won't be an underwater viewing area. They'll just be looking through the glass windows. So we're going to have quite a few glass windows, and we're going to tuck this away behind the toilets, so people can come out here and have, you know, not be distracted by the staff facilities, which seems to be a real common problem. And it's definitely something I'm going to have to look at probably after we built the next area. I'm going to have to go around and really sort of, I think we'll do it in real time, and we'll go around and we'll just check every area, and we'll start checking guests, and we'll try and get guest happiness to an absolute maximum before we build our next area. Next area after this is going to be a big one, so make sure you come back for it. We're going to hit definitely, I think, a safari type ride, whether it be a train or a monorail. Get the big animals in, massive enclosure, and see what happens. Now, as you can see in here, I'm putting in heaters as well. So I did have a little play with the weather system, and we turned it to snow. Cody wanted to see it with snow, and all the animals got really uncomfortable because they don't function that well in snow. Odd that in Africa they don't. Now, obviously in the UK they would have heated sort of beds and things, maybe not, well, definitely not heated enclosures outside. On this game you can put heaters in, you can set them for a temperature so that it does warm up. And that's what I've done. I've had to go around all the enclosures to make sure that if it snows in the game, that everyone's ready. Because if the crocodile or the lion is over the other side of the pen and it can't get back quick enough, it will freeze, and it will probably freeze to death by the looks of what the game is. Becomes very unhappy, the habitat becomes absolutely useless. Yeah, not great, not great. So going based on what the other crocodiles have had, the Nile Monitors, we're going to roughly guess the same. Get rid of the long grass, get a bit of sand in there, get a bit of rock in there, and wait for them to arrive. They should be arriving. There he comes, sir. He's come running in. Oh, we've got a problem with that. Right, so how many mechanics have we got? Let's have a few more mechanics, I think. There we go. So they're also set to 1 year, which is a little bit frustrating. You obviously need quicker ones. I'm not sure what the mechanics do. Everything's set to 1 year. Just go out and work for once a month. We nearly got the soil right. We nearly got the ground right there. Just a little bit more soil. And then, of course, we will look at some plants and things. See what kind of plants the Nile Monitors need. Now then, we go in, we go grassland. Oh, he's... What's up with him? Don't know what's up with him. He's not very happy about something. Right, we can't have that tree. We can't have that tree. Jesus, what tree can we have? Can't have that tree. Just it's really difficult. I find it really, really difficult to find the right one. Right, we can have this type tree, and they don't need a lot. As you can see, the bar at the top there now is only going across slightly. So we want to try, can't have that plant. We want to try and get a couple of plants in as well, so we've not just got some big trees. And that's it. That's all we're going for. That's all we're going to go for. We will put the educational boards up here as well. We'll probably put a speaker here, maybe one of the big boards too, because it really does interact with the guests. As you can see, they really do like looking through the glass from the outside. It's definitely something they prefer doing. Don't forget your donation bins. You want people to donate money. We'll have those one of each end, because eventually that will branch off to another area. And I think, we probably want to leave a bit of space at the front to have a proper transport ride to go through the park, which is why kind of the front entrance bit hasn't been done. And I think when we look around the park and we check guest happiness, the entrance area is going to be key, and it will be something we look at to have a nice, much more grand entrance as we come in. But this is a slightly shorter episode of Planet Zoo. Before we move on to our next section, we are definitely going to be building a large African section with one of the transport rides. Can't wait for it. How are you enjoying Planet Zoo? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe. We've got Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, our usual vlogs and content over the closed season. As we said, we are really enjoying playing this game. The depth of this game is proving to be magnificent, absolutely magnificent. And we are coming a cropper, and you're seeing us coming a cropper as animals escaping things. And yeah, we are loving it. Let us know below, and we'll see you next time.